Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to FeiyuTech Tech, where we showcase new tech and accessories. And today we're going to be looking at the G6 Plus handheld gimbal. Now this gimbal is capable of supporting smartphones, action cameras, and also small mirrorless cameras such as the Sony A6000 series cameras, which is one of the reasons why I'm interested in it. So a few notes on the specs for this gimbal. This gimbal has a maximum panning range of 360 degrees. The gimbal itself weighs 663 grams, which is a little over a pound, but it can support payloads up to 800 grams, which allows it to support a small mirrorless cameras such as the Sony A6000 series cameras, also point and shoot cameras like the Sony RX100. And you can purchase this gimbal for around 270 bucks. And at that price point, this is probably like the best bang that you're gonna get with all of the versatility and the function that this gimbal provides. Now we'll get started off with the unboxing. Alright, here's the case. So as you can see, it already comes in a case. It's a soft shell case. It's soft, but it's firm. It will definitely protect your gimbal. Everything is actually like real nice. And it'll be very useful for carrying it around, transporting it when you're out doing your running gun shoots. Now we're getting into this. First off, there's a little compartment at the top with some paperwork inside, so it's showing you a little bit of the paperwork. You have your fact sheet for the gimbal. Then there's one in Chinese, Japanese, I think Chinese. Here's another little thing inside of this package. First they greet you with a hello, which is cool. And inside you have your warranty card for your gimbal. So that'll cover you if anything goes wrong. And also in that package we have your G6 Plus quick start guide, which will pretty much guide you through the initial setup, how to balance the gimbal, and how to get it working. Alright, moving along, so we'll start getting into this package. First of all, we got the battery. Now this is a 26,000 milliamp battery, and this will actually power the gimbal for 9 hours. That's a pretty good amount of time for you to get some decent shooting for the day, so you can get some good footage. So definite plus for that with this small gimbal. And also here we see you have 2 thumb screws that it comes with. Also in this box you have the mount attachments for action cam. There's actually a second piece that was still in the box that I forgot to take out here, but these are the pieces that you would use to fit on your action cam, such as a GoPro or a Sony RX0. Of course it comes with the micro USB cable, and this is how you charge the gimbal. So you can charge the batteries, charge the gimbal all in body, just hook it up to the charging cable. Alright, and here is your phone mount, your smartphone mount. It's actually pretty clean looking, looks pretty nice and pretty standard phone adapter, so basically clamps down on your phone and has a 1/4-inch thread on the bottom that you can use to mount it to your gimbal with the 1/4-inch screw. Alright, so now getting to the gimbal. So taking out the gimbal, as I said, the total gimbal weighs 663 grams, which is very light, and it's a very small gimbal, so very easy to transport, move around. So now just giving you a view of the gimbal, you can see the USB cable input. Here's the front view where you actually have a joystick, a trigger button. So right here you can see like the knob, the multifunction knob that can be used for controlling the camera. You can control the pan, tilt, roll with that, or on some cameras you can even control the focus. So right here we're gonna start looking at the battery input. So it does look inside the bottom of the gimbal. That's where you insert the battery. So we're just gonna rip the plastic off this battery and show you how the battery is installed. It's actually pretty easy, pretty simple. Just screw off the bottom mount, and inside there's the battery. See the orientation of it, just slides right in there, no problem. And then screw the mount back on, and with that you're pretty much ready to shoot. Well, you're ready to balance. So as I said, this is a small gimbal. I actually bought a mini tripod that you just saw at the bottom that did not come with the gimbal, but it really does help with the balance and everything, so I definitely recommend that you pick one of those up if you have one of these gimbals. But as I said, this is a nice looking gimbal, small, fits well in your camera bag. You shouldn't have any problem transporting this around, very convenient. So now we'll get to balancing the gimbal, and for my camera I'm going to be using the Sony A6500 with the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens, and this total camera lens setup is actually 894 grams, which is over the limit of 800 grams, which is indicated in the specifications for this gimbal, but it still handles this payload with no problems, so still operates like a champ even though it's over the weight limit for the gimbal, which is pretty cool. So the Feiyu G6 Plus comes with the removable plate, a quick release plate, which you can attach to the bottom of your camera using one of the 1/4-inch thumb screws. So just place that wherever it needs to be on your camera and secure it. And once that's secured, you can very easily connect it to the gimbal by just sliding it onto the sliding plate for the quick release and tightening up the thumb screw. So when balancing the gimbal, you have to balance each one of the 3 axis arms, starting with the panning axis. And each of these is a sliding arm, so you can adjust those to the correct length. So you want to make sure your panning arm is flat when you're holding the gimbal out straight, and then move on to the rolling arm. With the gimbal upright, you want to make sure that arm is sitting straight, flat across, so adjust the sliding arm accordingly. And then you move on to the tilt axis. And with this axis, you just want to basically make sure that the camera is sitting upright And for the final adjustment for it, you want to make sure that the camera can sit up straight, lens pointing straight up without the camera falling over or tilting. And at that point, you'll know that the camera is fully balanced. So now we're gonna power on the gimbal. Alright, so the gimbal's powered on, so just gonna do some tests of the movements that you can do with the gimbal. As I said, this is a A6500 with the Sigma 16mm, and this total payload weighs 894 grams, which is over the specified payload that this gimbal is capable of. But as you can see, it's still handling the payload like a champ. So pretty cool gimbal. So right now I'm kind of playing around with the joystick, showing you some of the movements that you can do with the joystick. So of course you can control the pan, tilt, and roll of the camera with the joystick. And here I'm going into selfie mode. Do that by pressing the function button on the back 3 times. Goes into the selfie mode. Then there's also a trigger button on the front where if you press that twice, it goes back, pretty much resets the gimbal to its default state. So this is my first gimbal that I've ever used, but I'm super impressed with how easy it was to get to know this gimbal and learn how to use it, learn how to balance it. So I definitely recommend this for anyone who's been shooting handheld but wants to take their videos to the next level with that stabilization, that professional look with your video footage. So in my next video, I'm actually gonna show some test footage that I shot using this gimbal, and we can really see how stable the footage is. So stay tuned for that, and remember to please like, comment, or subscribe if you like the content, and thanks for watching.